potential acquisitions of real estate, and litigation. The board also met in executive session on February 16th to again discuss matters of personnel and litigation. The board met on February 24th in executive session, again to discuss matters of personnel and also litigation. So, Mr. Chairman, as you are plugging in, I think we are ready to go. Then we have a couple new flags, but the main one's still on the back.
Yeah, no, I was just looking at all these. Yeah, no, I saw it. I saw it.
What happened here?
We're ready whenever you are, Mr. Damon. Mark is online. He's one of the few. And Mark, just so that you know, you're not muted.
Got it. I'm getting a lot of feedback. Haley, I'm gonna log out then log in.
I think you're okay now, Mark. Is that better?
Oh yeah, much better.
Thank you.
Good. Okay.
Okay, so Mark, do you have to sign out? Or you're okay?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Let's rock and roll.
All right, let's go. Okay, we'll start the meeting. And would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge the United States of America, and to the republic which is one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all.
Haley, is my video on?
It's not on, Mark.
Swell. Well, not sure what's going on. Go ahead.
Mark, we can hear you just fine. Just your video is off.
All right, there's nothing I can do on my end.
Nope, no problem.
Okay.
I would like to move forward with a motion via consent agenda here to approve the minutes, the financials, and the reports.
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
None.
None. Yeah.
Nothing for me.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. So we're going to move down on the agenda to under new business. So one thing I'll say is if anyone's looking at what's online versus here, what I will do is I will go off of the paper copy that's here for the agenda. Mark, are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
And Mark, just to be clear, we can see you now. You're on video.
Not sure. Yep. Yep.
So the first item on the agenda, on the paper agenda, is on the appointments for some of our open boards and commissions. So that includes the Planning Commission, the Environmental Advisory Council, EAC, the Historical Commission, and the Zoning Hearing Board alternate. So one of the things that we will do tonight is I will start with the motion. Well, actually, Joe, what I'd like to say here is we had several people who have applied and we have interviewed. We have not made a decision on any of these right now. In order to make the motions flow correctly, I think would it be appropriate to have a discussion before we talk about the motion here about the individuals that we would like to put in here for each one of these slots?
Mr. Chairman, what you could do is make nominations for appointments before appointments are made. If there are no nominations made, or if a deferred nomination is the intent of this board. And again, there have been no decisions made because those decisions need to be made in public with regard to these appointments. So if the board intends to conduct more interviews or has more interviews to conduct or needs more time to consider a particular nomination, that's perfectly fine. It can be deferred to a later date.
Yes.
You have those motions outlined one by one in front of you. So again, the first one being the Planning Commission with a term that expires December 31, 2027. If there are nominations, you would open it up to nominations.
I'll do that. That's what I'll do. Thank you very much. So what I'm going to start with the motion here. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors to make the following appointments to various boards and commissions. A motion to appoint Michelle Adams to the Planning Commission with a term that expires December 31st, 2027. I'd like to do each one of these individually. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Any discussion?
None.
None. Okay, I'll move. Okay, public comment? No public comment.
Nothing online.
Okay.
I call the question?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion to appoint Jay Gross to the Environmental Advisory Committee with a term that expires December 31st, 2029.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
None.
Okay. All in favor?
Mr. Chairman,
I'm sorry, public comment. Sorry about that.
thank you.
All right, public comment. And we don't have it. We do have a number of people online, but
How many are online, Haley? 17. Thank you.
someone's raised their hand.
19.
Okay. Okay, I'll move forward with the question. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
or acting chairman, there's a hand online.
Okay.
Premature. Glenn, you're still muted?
I thought I saw, I think I see a hand.
Yeah, Glenn Deary, muted.
Yeah, I hear you now. I wasn't hearing anything before.
Okay.
We can hear you now.
Go ahead, Glenn.
Glenn, you can ask your question.
Nope. Mr. Chairman, do you have a public comment to make, or you just couldn't hear us?
I just couldn't hear you before. Now I can hear you.
Thank you. Then if you wouldn't mind putting your hand down, that would help us a bit. We get easily confused.
I call the question.
Aye.
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I do want to point one thing out here, just as a point of correction on the form here. We have 3 openings on Environmental Advisory Council Committee, and I believe we do have 4 openings.
We have 4 openings because Michelle has been appointed to the Planning Commission, and she has told us that she will vacate her seat on the EAC.
Right. Okay, so I just want to make sure that we will add a 4th one here. So I will repeat one of these lines again then for that purpose. Motion to appoint Tim Galbraith to Environmental Advisory
Kim Galbraith.
Kim Galbraith to Environmental Advisory Committee with a term that expires December 31st, 2029.
Second.
Okay, discussion. Okay. Any public comment?
Call the
All
question.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to appoint Michael Broussard to Environmental Advisory Committee with a term that expires December 31st, 2029.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. Public
Hold on.
comment.
Sorry.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, for the, this is a point of correction again for the fourth one. The other ones we mentioned about the expiration was December 31st, 2029. Now, since, Michelle Adams will be giving up her seat, that expiration date is going to be different. Are we okay with it being open-ended until we can get that exact date?
December 31st, 2028.
2028, okay.
Haley's really quick with the phone.
Right, awesome. I'm gonna move forward with the next motion. Motion to appoint Sean Reagan to the Environmental Advisory Committee for a term that expires December 31st, 2028.
Second.
Okay, discussion. Public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to, the next one here, this is, considering the, zoning hearing board. Do we want to,
No.
we would like,
Yet.
okay, we will table that for right now. We're gonna table the next one. Motion to appoint, Diane, I hope I'm not, I hope I'm not butchering the last name here, but Diane Gooley? Okay, hope, if she's online, please correct me, but no, she's not. Okay, maybe not. To the Historical Commission with a term that expires December 31st, 2029. Do I have a
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Any public comment? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you all.
I'm sorry, I can't hear. Is Dana voting?
Yes, I am.
I can't hear you, Dana. I'm sorry.
We turned her volume down. She speaks very loudly. That's, yeah.
Italian.
She's Italian. Actually, I'm only part Italian, so.
Don't go there.
Yeah, the other ones, yeah. All right. We're going to move to the next item on new business agenda. This is the, everybody give me a second here. I need to, get the paper agenda out. Yeah, thank you. It's different than what's on here, so. This is item B. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors approve the declaration of disaster emergency enacted February 22nd, 2026 due to the winter weather advisory. Do I have a second? Okay. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, on the advice of council, I ask that C be tabled for this meeting.
Yes, what we will do is, we will, table item C on the agenda until a future date. I'm going to move to item D on the agenda. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors appoint
Zelenkovsky.
Lemkowski Axelrod LLC as the township auditor.
Second.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
None.
None.
Okay, I just would like to say that I did see in here that they will be providing services beyond the traditional audit. I think this is a good thing. I think this will help us with making looking for areas for improvement, which they will give us some advice on, and we can at our discretion decide whether or not we would entertain to and put some of these recommendations in practice. So I will say that I did like that aspect of the proposal that they provided us.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
It is also good policy, every 3 to 5 years that you change your auditor. So different set of eyes.
Yes.
On your books.
I would agree with you, and I wish public companies did that more often as well.
And
Here, here.
I also like the fact that they do audits, their focus primarily or singularly on municipalities.
Yes.
So
that's right.
government.
That's another one.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Is there any public comment? No. I'll go
Call the
move
question?
question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just one item as a point of reference. We like to recommend, I know the board has done this in the past, that before the audit actually takes place, the auditor will meet with the Board of Supervisors without staff there, so the board can express their concerns directly to them outside of staff if they have questions or what to look at, as well as they will follow up them directly during the process, which I think is very good policy.
I think that is. Thank you. Thank you, Bob.
Agreed.
Going to move to the next item on the agenda. This is concerning the escrow release. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors approve escrow release number 2 in the amount of $160,352.78. Also escrow release number 3 in the amount of $65,000, $65,001.57. And escrow release number 4 in the amount of $55,086.49 for 506 Park Road, Spring Haven, as recommended by the township's third-party land development inspector and township engineer, leaving a remaining escrow balance of $371,792.51. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Question,
Yes.
Bob. Have the prior construction flaws that were detected by our inspector been corrected?
Yes, they have. And want to thank the board for supporting not releasing those funds. They got back in and they made sure that all the deficiencies were all corrected to the satisfaction of the inspector as well as the engineer and the township.
Are there any existing deficiencies that have not yet been corrected?
They've all been corrected. There are no deficiencies at this point.
Okay.
I'll move towards public comment. Is there any public comment on this item? Okay. Okay, I'll move forward. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors authorize the advertisement of ordinance number 256, the police drop program. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, let's have a discussion on this. Bob or Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
At a very high level, this is a deferred retirement option plan. The chief of police is the only one who would be eligible for this plan at this time. What this essentially does is allow the police or the chief to on paper retire while still continuing in his position, which would allow for his pension plan to accrue in a different way. As a result, it's a benefit to the chief. It would be a benefit to any body that participated in the plan. However, the cost to the township is essentially nothing. There's a small administrative cost, but that's all there is. We do have special counsel appointed for this purpose. This is not something that's in my bailiwick, but I know enough to be dangerous. And I think that Mr. Zinkowski may have a few additional comments.
And this, by instituting this plan, this helps with in the ease of transition from the chief to the next chief. It allows the time for additional training that's necessary as officers move up through the ranks. So it's not just that's it, chief's gone, and then we have to put people in place. This is a very good opportunity for us to put this in place. And as the solicitor spoke about, with no cost to the township, it's very helpful and it is very much appreciated from the chief willing to participate in this process. It shows his deep care for this community. and wanting to make sure that the transition is very smooth.
It'll be in effect for up to but not to exceed 60 months.
That's correct.
And one of the other benefits is that we get to keep a talented and very well respected chief of police that we keep him here, and he'll be able to help train the people still like he's doing right now, continue to train the officers and hopefully his replacement.
Absolutely.
Is there any other discussion?
He just tried to walk in, his head didn't fit through the door.
None from me.
Couldn't hear you.
Is there any public comment? Okay, I'll move forward with the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Swear it deviates. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors affirm the appointment of Will Odinger and Grimm, Bean, and Thatcher as the Township Zoning Hearing Board solicitor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Discussion.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes,
Will
please.
Ottinger is a well-respected land use and zoning attorney. He has a lot of experience with zoning hearing boards. I believe the zoning hearing board did interview Mr. Ottinger and was very comfortable with him. There were a couple of applicants and he rose to the top. So this is at the recommendation of the township's zoning hearing board. He has a tough act to follow, Mr. Brennan, but
Right.
I think he's up to the task.
Is Mr. Ottinger here tonight?
He is.
Yes. If you could please come up and you could just tell us just a little bit about your background, just for the public.
Sorry, Joel, I didn't see you there.
Now my head won't fit out the door. Good evening, board. My name's Will Ettinger. I am a partner with Grimm, Bean and Thatcher. My firm is in Percy. We represent only municipalities, zoning hearing boards. That's just the only line of work. While we're a private firm, that is the only type of business we do in terms of land use is on the municipal side, sitting up with the board. I've been with the firm for 8 years almost. Before that, I was a public defender. But I look forward to working with you and thank you for the vote of confidence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I may,
Yes.
I would like to commend the zoning hearing board. They spent several evenings interviewing 3 different firms. The interviews were not just 5 minutes. They spent time interviewing, very thoughtful process. So I want to thank them and commend them that they take their role very seriously in making sure what's in the best interest of the township. And I think they've recommended a very good individual here.
Thanks,
Thank
Bob.
you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I'll move forward with public comment. Is there any public comment at this point in time? All right, I'll move forward with the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, we're moving to item H. Yes, H.
Mhm.
Yep. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors support the zoning hearing board application for Roger McLaughlin located at 6 White Horse Lane. And second, okay, I will leave it at that right now. There's a portion in here in the motion about referring to the application of the planning commission for review and comment. And then there's an optional piece here about which I don't think we want to do that, about authorizing the township solicitor to attend the zoning hearing board meeting. So let's do the first one. The first one being that I have selected support the zoning hearing board application for Roger McLaughlin located at 6 White Horse Lane. Do I have a second for that part of the motion?
I can provide some context on.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is actually, I do want to point out a discrepancy on the application. They said it's for a special exception, but it's actually for a variance for section 1602.2. This has been corrected and it is correct in the notice as well. But this property is unique. The front yard is actually the backyard and vice versa. So they're looking to construct a pool, which is actually in the front yard, but is operating as the backyard.
Right,
So that is what they're requesting.
right. We okay with proceeding with that for,
Can we
go ahead.
comment?
Yeah, go ahead, comment.
I was gonna say, right now, what we have on the floor is a motion with no second. Please I just want to make sure we're all clear. Yes, the board can comment. But we haven't opened it
For a
up.
second.
We haven't opened it up to public discussion yet. So
There's been no second, has there?
there has not been a second,
Right.
Mr. Brancato. I think this is a clarifying question.
It
more
is
than
a
anything,
clarifying
it's procedural, not as to the substance.
Okay.
Right.
No, then I'll wait for the second, actually. Well, I did have a question, but I don't know that we know the answer. Is this the original homeowner? And is it a non-conforming?
That it's the original homeowner, I do not believe so.
Okay,
So I really do he bought this property
okay.
this way.
Craig, I offer a friendly amendment to the motion.
Okay.
It's simply that we refer to the zoning hearing board without comment.
Can I agree to that?
You can second, yes.
I second that.
Yeah, I actually what I will do here is I didn't include that into the original motion. So I hear what you're saying here, Mark. I will modify that. I will sort of cross out this second part that's in the paper part of the motion here.
So
Well, so as long as the motion on paper conforms to the friendly amendment as seconded by Dana.
So if I may, Mr. Brancato and Mr. Chairman, I believe that the motion right now is to take no position with the zoning hearing board application for Roger McLaughlin, located at 6 White Horse Lane.
Well, I will
Agreed.
modify it. I'll modify because that wasn't what I originally said. So
Yes, sir.
I'll start the motion over again. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors take no position on the zoning hearing board application for Roger McLaughlin located at 6 White Horse Lane, and not to go to the planning commission, but to go to the zoning hearing board. And that would be the end of the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
None.
Public comment. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors approve submission of the Keystone Historical Preservation Grant application for the Parkerford Tavern, a amount of 100,000, and authorize the required 50% cash match expenditure in support of the application. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, let's have a discussion. Could we, for the public's purposes, could we get a little bit more information here? Who wants to? Would you like to?
Sure.
The honors.
Finally, this is the opportunity to start funding repairs to the Parkerford Tavern, which I know the Historical Commission has been patiently awaiting, beginning this process, which I think is a good step in beginning this process. It will start to address some of the issues within the tavern. It also, we've got a very good architect that has worked here. I spoke with Pannoni this afternoon, said they really have done a nice job of both of them working together with the Historical Commission to come up with this grant application. Dana has done a nice job reaching out to Representative Friel with garnering his support for this and hopefully trying to get some additional dollars as well. It's exciting that we're beginning the process now to get this going.
And this is a point of clarification here. We did at one point have a structural engineer go into the
Correct.
building and they determined that it was not structurally sound. And this money should help to fix those problems.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah, it's primarily going to focus on shoring up the first floor, but some of the supports on the second floor as well. Is that fair to say,
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Okay. And the windows. We want the windows done, right?
I've heard that at many historical commission meetings, many times.
We're listening.
Yes.
I don't think the windows are included though.
Yeah, there's 4 windows in the scope of the grant application project.
Okay. All right.
Is there a? Right. I've heard that many times as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Is there any further discussion?
There's
None.
anyone like to donate money towards this, please reach out to the historical commission. They're always welcome to receive donations for that.
I'll open up public comment. Yeah, go ahead, Steve. Yeah, if you come up here, please, just
I have a quick related question. Steve Hacker, 881 Brown Drive. Since we're talking about the tavern, is there any indication when the road to the tavern is going to be open? Do we have any clue when that bridge is getting done and that road will be open?
No.
Okay. I mean, last time I looked, it wasn't even a consideration yet on PennDOT.
Correct.
Okay. Since we're talking about the tavern, I just wonder.
Good question.
thank you. Are there any other comments? I don't see anything online. Okay, I'll ask the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors authorize the advertisement of the 2026 road program, which includes the milling and overlay of Hickory Grove Road and Bonnie Bray Road. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. So we're opening this up for discussion here. Bob, would you like to do the honors here? Talk a little bit about this?
Sure. The 2 roads that you mentioned in here, Hickory Grove is from Ridge Road to 7 Stars Road, and Bonnie Bray is from Violet Way to Township Line Road. These are paid for out of liquid fuel monies that we get allocated from the state.
Right.
And our hope is that, again, oil prices stay low, that we'll get the maximum dollars, but I don't think
that's
an
happening.
occurrence that happened this weekend, I doubt that's going to happen, but we're looking to jump out quickly here with these bids, if the board so sees fit to authorize us to go out to bids.
Thank you, Bob. Is there any further discussion?
None.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is this it for roads for this year, Bob? Or will there be other road projects that just haven't been brought to bear yet?
This is the roads that'll be completed this year. I will ask Mike to come back. They did a full assessment of all the roads to show kind of which ones are in line. So there's a process of how we're going to go and then reevaluate it every year in case one breaks up a little bit more than others. But we've actually now have a plan in place. And one of the things I like is we're going to actually start milling roads, because before we were just putting layer upon layer upon layer on these roads without actually milling the surface and profiling the road, where I think under the program that was paved in 23, Public Works actually had to go back out and actually mill some of the road down because people's cars were scraping the bottom of the road. So that's done. So we're going to start doing roads in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Which should help drainages too, is along with profiling the road the appropriate way.
All right, that was my question. So we will be addressing drainage on both roads.
Yes.
Okay.
On a related question, have we seen any damage to any culverts or anything from the winter?
Not at this point, but I think what will happen is we'll have Mike to come to us
Inspection.
and actually give an update where the conditions are of the culverts, because we know there's a number of them that are going to have to be done. We had some initial proposals from Princeton Hydro, but the numbers were extremely high, and that was a lot of replacements. Benoni has said that we can actually slip line some of these, that they don't require complete removals and replacement, which saves a significant amount of money, especially in having to resurface over the top of the roads. So it's a good option. And again, it's something where there's a plan for this so that we can actually fund these in the future.
Yep.
And know by category which ones have to be done now, and gives us the opportunity to look for additional funding on the outside.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion?
None.
Okay. We did public comment. Don't see anything online. I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors support the joint statement by the Chester County District Attorney and Chester County Police Chiefs Association. Do I have a second?
Second, and can we have Joe explain what the,
Yeah, and the explanation, and I just want to add to it is, do we want to consider reading this into the record?
I think it's a good idea.
I can do that
If you would like, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, it can be read into the record.
Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to read this joint statement by the Chester District Attorney and the Chester County Police Chiefs Association. And this is the start of the statement. Like so many in our community, Chester County law enforcement has been following the events in Minnesota that led to the fatal shootings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. I think I pronounced that correctly.
You did.
We have seen the concern online. Fielded a variety of your questions, and we want our residents to know three things. First, Chester County law enforcement does not enforce civil immigration orders. In fact, none of the police departments in Chester County have signed a Section 287G agreement with Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Second, during major use of force events such as a police shooting, local law enforcement immediately responds to the scene and ensures that everyone in the area is safe. Officers simultaneously work to negate any immediate safety threat, provide first aid to everyone injured, and secure the crime scene. Investigators from the District Attorney's Office, the Chester County detectives, and local law enforcement begin an investigation to determine if any Pennsylvania laws were violated. We will take as long as we need to gather a complete understanding of what happened. And it does not matter whether the incident under investigation involves local, state, or federal law enforcement. There will be a complete and independent review by an experienced team of detectives and prosecutors. That has been the practice in Chester County for decades, and it will continue to be the practice in the future. And finally, Chester County law enforcement is dedicated to protecting the public, regardless of their immigration status. That means we will keep families, businesses, and their property safe during times of unrest. It means that we will hold people accountable for interfering with law enforcement. It also means that we are devoted to ensuring that residents can exercise their constitutional right to peacefully protest. We have always been and continue to be protective of your right to free speech and your right to property. Simply put, Chester County law enforcement is dedicated to upholding the rule of law and ensuring that Chester County remains a safe and prosperous community. We hope this information helps answer some of the questions and concerns in the community. And that's the statement. So, is there any discussion on this?
None.
I'll open this up for public comment. Okay. I'll put forward the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors approve the demolition of the Class 2 historic structure located on 109 Sheeter Road based off the recommendation from the East Vincent Township Historical Commission. Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, so there is a note. I think we've all hopefully read that. I was actually there when this particular individual did come before the historical commission. There were some asks from the historical commission to be able to investigate the property with the owner's permission, of course, and setting certain dates to look for anything of historical value that might be saved. While there he goes forward with, hopefully he'll get granted a demolition permit, and then they would be involved in looking for anything that may be of historical value. I will say that the historical commission has and continues to find with their partners historical items all the time. Even at the Parkerford Tavern, I believe we're still finding things up there, even to this day. So I think this is a good compromise here. And the gentleman that was there, I don't know if he's in attendance tonight or not. I don't think I see him, but I will say that he was very agreeable. He was, pleasant to working with, and the discussions were amicable. And I thought that what the historical commission asked for was very reasonable. Is there any further discussion on this item?
I just had a question.
Good.
I was looking at the zoning earlier, and it is quite an extensive list of what has to be provided in order to make this decision. So I was just curious, is everything in order that needs to be provided? There were financial analysis, considerations of alternatives to demolition. I believe there are a few site narratives that need to be also submitted. So I'm just curious, do we have everything that's required per the zoning?
Haley, could you answer that?
Administratively, yes, we do.
Okay, thank you.
It's a good question.
It's quite a list.
Yes. Yeah. Mark, is there anything further?
Not for me.
So I'm going to open this up for public comment. Is there any public comment on this item?
There's
Oh, there is. Okay.
Hi, everybody. It's Chris McNeil at 108 Nottingham Drive.
Hey, Chris.
Hi. I understand the actions you're taking tonight and do support them. But I just wanted to read into the record tonight what we are losing at 109 Cheetah Road. There are two structures, so your motion, you might want to make that plural. It should be structures. And these properties were originally identified by Estelle Kremers, who is the preeminent historical person in Chester County that really helped many townships across, particularly northern Chester County, identify historic properties. She did that in 1981. And at that time, these two buildings were considered worthy of nomination to the National Register of Historic Places, and she placed a medium-high significance category to them. The buildings were probably put together, there's no actual date, and built around the 1800s, and there were later modifications. Because of the open space committee action with the surrounding property, I am familiar with both of the deteriorated states of both buildings. And the main farmhouse is a 2.5-story in height, and it's in a German colonial style with a beautiful gray stone facade that's typical of the early architectural and agricultural buildings in our region. The little tenant house also dates from the early 19th century, and it reflects an English colonial style. And I think what's important here, and I just want it for the record that we know what we're losing tonight, and I understand and support the action, but it shows the layered settlement patterns and the agricultural heritage that has shaped our township. And these buildings, they're a small but meaningful part of our early rural landscape. And these buildings are what I would consider part of a trend that happens, and we call it demolition by neglect. It's not an isolated circumstance. So because of that and the pattern that I have seen over time with buildings that even are still standing today and are actually in the process of demolition by neglect, I offered to you all special provisions for historic resources, and it would be a transitional protection against demolition by neglect and also pre-demolition requirements. I'm offering this in the spirit of collaboration and looking at long-term planning and hoping that both the Historic Commission and Planning Commission could take a look, as well as obviously the Board of Supervisors. But what I think we need today is a reasonable maintenance standard and stabilization measures so that historic buildings are not allowed to deteriorate to the point where demolition becomes inevitable, as we are facing with these two buildings. And what it would do, it would retain the opportunity for restoration or adaptive reuse when the right conditions arise. Because once historic structures like these are gone, you know, they're gone forever. And the best part we can do now is really learn from this loss and really take some time to put tools in place so that the next historic building still has a chance. So thank you for considering what I would like you all to take under your wing. And I hope that you could come forward with a new type of an ordinance that would establish maintenance and stabilization standards for these buildings so they won't deteriorate through neglect. And we do have clear authority through the municipalities planning code because they authorize municipalities to protect historic resources. And many Pennsylvania communities have demolition by neglect provisions as well. So thank you for your time. And it's a little bit sad to lose part of our fabric, but I hope that we can move forward in a positive way to protect any future buildings from facing the same fate. Thanks.
Thank you, Christine. And I just want to say that I'd like to consider what she just said, and would the supervisors be agreeable to asking Joe to looking into?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Okay, Joe.
I think Ms. McNeil did provide a baseline that we can start from, and we can put something together, present that to the Planning Commission, and have the Planning Commission take it up for consideration.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
Second thing I just want to mention is that the homeowner, he is not the original homeowner. He recently acquired this property. I just want to make that clear that it's not due to his neglect as what has happened to the property.
And, Mr. Chairman, I did note in your packet, there is a note from Marietta. Did you want that read into the record, Marietta? Or are you comfortable with it just being up here as part of the board?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if appropriate, the information that Chris provided to the board, if that could be made part of the record as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Great.
Agreed.
And just to be clear, we do not have it here, but we would just make it part of the record as later on.
Right. Right.
It
Yeah.
did. It did.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is there no further comment? I'll open this up for public comment.
Christine actually has her hand up.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
Hi, again. Could you also modify that in addition to the Planning Commission, the Historic Commission would review that document as well?
Yes, we'll
Perfect.
definitely get them both involved, right?
Not a problem.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
if you want to talk to me about anything that I wrote, I'm more than happy to help you and describe anything further that you might need.
Thank you, Christine.
Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Is there any other public comment? I thought I saw another hand up before, but I guess it's not there now. Okay.
Call the question.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we're going to move to the last item on the agenda for new business. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors approve the purchase of the UV bulbs and related supplies for the Veterans Center wastewater treatment plant in the amount of $26,141.38. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
these are maintenance items that were
Mhm.
brought to our attention from the new firm.
yes.
That as they're acclimating themselves to both systems,
Mhm.
I would like to commend them. They are really going through it very thoroughly and bringing everything up to where the standard that needs to be.
Okay.
So you will probably see additional expenses coming.
Mhm.
But fortunately, for Veteran Center, we have a good budget sitting there that we can afford all these, different, improvements. So, there'll be more coming to you as well.
Good, good. Anything else? Any other bits of discussion on this one? No?
None.
I'll open this up for public comment. Is there any public comment on this particular item? Okay. Move forward with the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So now what I'd like to do is we have some time here. Bob, I'd like to ask if there's a report that you would like to discuss tonight.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
First, I want to thank the Public Works and the Police Department for another great job during the most recent storm. In the snow event, again, spending a lot of time doing an outstanding job here in the township. Also want to thank the fire departments. I know we have one of them sitting in the audience this evening for all your hard work and efforts too in the storms responding to emergencies. We noticed that, we recognize that, want to thank you all for the hard work and efforts that you put in. And also too, from a personal side, they spend a lot of time away from their families during these events. And I know sometimes we don't recognize that or realize that time away from family and from home. And really just want to say we really truly appreciate all of that of what you do for the residents.
Agreed.
So
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
We held a staff traffic meeting last Thursday, I'm sorry. At the April board meeting, our traffic engineer will present to you what was discussed and findings and recommendations. Items that were discussed were the West Bridge Street and Stony Run, considering a four-way stop. Been a couple bad accidents there, one recently. And we are working with PennDOT right now to look to see what can be done as a temporary four-way stop. It was to be signaled as part of the Artisan development, but now because that has been slowed because of recent accidents, it's something we're asking PennDOT permission to go forward with. And of course, we want them to pay for those signs and the signalization that has to take place. There is some concern too regarding the curve in the road, the speed that's there, the elevations and grade that will have to be looked at there. So this is something that, again, the discussion will begin with the board on that. We also looked at Route 724 and Bridge Street, a roundabout idea and plan, which I know everybody shrugs on that, but we are looking at that. PennDOT's in favor of that, but I know the police chief, he had questions, as well as just about everybody in the room had questions in regards to that. But that's something that he'll present to the board and have conversation at your next meeting. PennDOT's going to be doing some local road counts. There's no concerns with them doing that, so we should get a lot of updated counts, which will help us throughout the township on state routes. Bonnie Bray Road, there was a request for a speed hump to be installed there. That is something that was looked at with if it's warranted or not. He will present at your April meeting in regards to that, as well as the Bertolette School Road, a school bus signage request there. And there are some questions in regards to that because of the terrain that's there, because of the road, the flat area there. So we possibly could be looking at a different area of that road, but also that was a concern raised by a resident.
Right, Bob, that was just for information purposes. That was a request last year or a year and a half ago. And they're talking about a sign on Pewtown Road, leading up to Bertolette School Road.
Okay, so these are all things that, they're in consideration. He'll be bringing that to the board, which is the typical process the discussion and then bring it to the board. If there's action that needs to be taken, this committee cannot do that. This committee cannot do that. Only the actions can be taken by the board. So they'll present it at your next meeting.
Bob, with regard to PA 23, is there any indication from PennDOT that it's going to be doing any kind of major repairs or improvements? It's badly rutted, badly pockmarked,
Yeah, that road's horrible,
to say the least.
and it's something that we'll wait for PennDOT to put their list out of what roads they're going to schedule for this year. I'll also reach out to both our state senator and state rep and ask them if they could do any lobbying for us to try to get about 23 done.
Yeah, and that the whole stretch from East Pikeland down to 100 is a mess.
The whole road is bad, especially it's been exposed with under this recent storm.
Yeah.
A lot of areas have gone out, and there's also some drainage issues that we asked PennDOT to come out and look at last year around the cemetery. Last July 4th, there was a pond that was pumping water from somewhere. So we're going to need them to take a look at it instead of just a drive-by. So that happened there. Conditional use hearing. That's on March 16th at 6:30 p.m. The location is East Vincent Elementary School. The board, listening to all the comments from residents, have taken that all in consideration. We've reached out to the school district. They've been very cooperative to work with us on that. I want to thank Haley for her efforts and Cindy's efforts to work with the school district. It will be televised. It will be via Zoom as well, and there should be plenty of capacity in that building. But for that, I'd like to ask that for all the party status forms, if those can be submitted prior to that hearing date. And the reason why I asked for that is there are packets we have to put together for the applicant, for the hearing officer, for the board, and one for the stenographer that we're going to have to do. So there is a lot of copying that will need to take place. I'm going to dump this question to the solicitor after I finish here about when the hearing actually begins. Is there a cutoff for receiving those? So we would like to try to get those in advance so we can put these packets together, that we can have those prepared so we are not delaying the process that night. We know there's going to be some walk-ins that's going to happen, but our hope is that we don't have 200 that come in, because by the time we put the packets together, we'll be a couple hours behind schedule with that hearing. So we know we can't force anybody to do that, but we ask if you could please get those to us prior to the hearing taking place. And the last item I have is, I know we've had a number of complaints regarding sounds in the township. We've received five complaints from individuals in regards to noises being heard during the day, at night. We have taken these seriously. I know that we have reached out to the local government affairs manager with Constellation to see if there were any noises coming from the power plant or anything different that has changed there. We've reached out to Pico for them to try to research and see if there are any issues with the power plant from their side or any substations in the area. The East Vincent Township Police has been out on numerous nights trying to listen for these noises. They've also responded to, as soon as we've gotten calls or emails or texts, we've responded as well. I've been out there on 3 different evenings to see if I can track something down or hear something. And the Limerick Township manager was asked in regards to any noises, any complaints they've had in Limerick, anything regarding the power plant, anything that could be a source of noise. All of these have come back that we have not determined a source point or have heard anything. I would ask again, we are still responding to these. If there's a specific time that you have it, you hear it, let us know. immediately dial 911. It is not a problem. It's a good way for them to respond. They're out, they're documenting it, trying to track these things. Heard different people suggest where it could be coming from, but when we haven't been able to pinpoint that. So again, it'll be an ongoing process for us, but that's what we have currently to this point. I did.
Well, Bob, if I can interrupt, and forgive me for doing so, it would also be helpful if the noise is that perceptible, then the complainant should at least record it so we know what the noise sounds like.
Yeah, we've been out there, and I know police has done a great job with going out, and I know they spent one whole evening in certain areas of the township just listening, trying to pick up anything. So again, we'll continue to keep doing this, trying to narrow that focus of times. We've tried to look at different times, and we're just not hearing that big enough noise. There's a couple places we think might be a source, but it's not a continuous type noise where we can pick it up. So we'll continue to go about and monitor this too as well. And Mr. Chairman, that's all I have.
Just a quick question on the traffic study. Is that open to the public?
Staff traffic.
The staff
Absolutely.
traffic,
Anybody can come anytime they want.
That's right. I'm talking. Yes,
Yes.
it is.
It
Okay.
is open. Yes.
The second thing you mentioned about there was discussion about the curvatures of the road and the elevations. Is that going to extend from a certain distance from the planned areas where the lights may go? Would that go like a certain distance from there?
That's correct. And also to where the one that we're looking at is in regards to the artisan. So I think when that comes back through, the recommendation would be is that the developer of that site would be responsible, or we would recommend that during the process, they would be responsible for making those changes in the elevation and grade to the road. And it all comes down to a safety issue, line of sight.
Those people here who've lived here for several years, we have humps in some of these roads where you can't see over the other side, and some people race over them, and there's ice sometimes, and a lot of these places frequently have the accidents occurring over and over again. So I'm glad to hear that this is being discussed in the committee, and I'm hoping that this will result in some improvements in the road, so we'll cut down the number of accidents.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Joe, would you like to give us the solicitor's report?
Be brief.
Brief. Okay.
With respect with respect to the hearing on the 16th at 6:30, Mr. Zinkowski had mentioned that we're requesting that any application for party status be presented in advance of the hearing. That can be emailed to Mr. Zinkowski. It can be brought here by paper copy if email is something that's unavailable to folks. That was also in our advertisement for the conditional use hearing. We will have a small grace period at the beginning of the hearing where we will accept paper copies in person. Again, not a preferred method. But once the hearing begins, applications will be closed. So once the hearing begins, if there's subsequent hearings that occur after the 16th, there will not be requests for party status that the board would consider after that time.
Mhm.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any discussion from the board?
No.
Anything else? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open this up for general public comment. This is normally what we do is we open this up at the very end of the meeting before we do an adjournment. Is there anyone here or online? Oh, I see there's one hand. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Steve.
Steve Hacker, 881 Brown Drive. So I'm gonna be real brief because you just touched on both things I was going to ask about. So the night of the hearing, you say it'll be televised. Obviously, it'll be zoomed. Are we involving the O&J Roberts video department in this? Because they have a really good program there. They put kids in the industry, and
That's correct. They will be.
okay, they'll be there to troubleshoot in case anything comes up.
They will be there the entire time in case not a glitch that comes up. They will be there to be able to respond.
Great, glad to hear it.
We're also doing testing ahead of time,
Okay.
and they'll be there the night of.
Yeah, it's great to have them involved too.
Yep.
So today, this is more for Bob. I saw black boxes being bolted to the stop signs in my neighborhood. Do you know about that?
A black.
Is that, are they cameras? Are they recording devices?
I will defer to the chief if he's out there, if we are doing any traffic counts. We are not installing any cameras. We're not doing that.
So I can tell you, right now, road and Old Schuylkill Road, Brown Drive and Old Schuylkill Road. It was a white pickup truck, but it didn't say East Vincent Township on it.
Mr. Zinkowski, the traffic engineer is not here, but I believe, I'm not sure, Steve, those may be related to some kind of traffic counts that are being conducted by the traffic engineer, but that would be able to be answered by them. I'm not aware of it. I know you're not aware of it, but
They would let us know. So I do not believe 99.9% it's not our.
or could be a potential applicant.
It's possible they could be. That's true.
Yeah, because I mean, if our township's not doing it, I think we'd want to know who was doing that, right?
Yes. Yeah, the police, they're not aware of it either, so it's not their.
Okay, I can tell you there's at least two in my neighborhood.
Okay.
They're black boxes about this big on stop signs, and there are chains around them.
We'll take a look at it tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you. I see there's a hand raised online. Oh,
Yes. Hello.
hello. Hi, Glenn.
This is for Bob. Again, put in the hot seat. Buckwater Road, down around where that new development is, Keely's property. There's a sort of like a sinkhole on the southbound lane. It's been there for 3 years and nothing's been done about it. I believe that is that PennDOT or is that the township for maintenance?
I think that's PennDOT, but we'll take a look at it though, and we can reach out to PennDOT as well.
Yeah, I'm concerned that somebody's going to get caught in that and dragged in that ditch down there.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take a look at it tomorrow.
And additionally, you were mentioned about Route 23. This past year, when they were grading along the road edges, I talked to the foreman. They said it's not in the budget this year for 2026 for the resurfacing of 23.
Yeah, PennDOT's an interesting animal there. And I'll just give an example of that on 23. They were actually patching the road. They had 6 or 7 trucks out there, 5 guys walking, patching, and I can't believe of how they could miss holes. It's almost impossible how you can not patch them. And
You're preaching to the choir on that one, Bob. We got at Frog Hollow in 23 in the westbound lane. They missed the one up at in front of 520 Ridge Road in the left lane. I'm sorry, 320 Ridge Road in the westbound lane. So I don't know how they do it.
we'll reach out to them, and then if they don't respond, maybe we'll cite the governor.
Yeah, that's good one. Thank you, Bob.
Thanks.
Thank you, Glenn. Yes, please.
Hi, Corey Murray, 201 Parkview Boulevard. So I'm here representing both myself and the library. So for the library, I just wanted to share a few things. We have a brand new bridge club, and it meets the first and third Wednesday of the month at 1 o'clock. So I just want to share that. That's a new program, and it's gaining popularity. So anybody interested in learning bridge or wants to play, please join us. And there are just a few other things in March to share. On the 14th is International Pie Day. And so we are actually celebrating by asking bakers of all ages to bring in their favorite pie, homemade pie, for a tasting contest. And we also are accepting people to be tasters. So if you taste,
We have one here. Yeah.
absolutely.
Cindy.
Yeah. Good.
Fire departments.
And then just 2 other things. On the 21st of March, we have a CPR and first aid workshop for kids, K through 8. So it is a registration is required, and it's hosted by the Berks County Health for Humanity organization. So that's kind of a cool project. The first time I've seen that.
And then April 11th, we actually have another fun event. It's a Saturday. It's called From Puppy to Partner. Learn how you can become a puppy raiser. Basically, it is working with the Seeing Eye Dog group. A Seeing Eye Dog group is coming in to kind of help explain what they do and how to train the dogs. So yeah, so that's everything. I just want to thank you guys again for all your support for the library. We really appreciate it. On a personal note, I wanted to find out, I found all the documentation about the meeting, like if you wanted to put information in on the meeting on March 16th, but it is not on the website calendar or the.
We'll add that. We'll get that
Okay.
added tomorrow. Thank you.
And then I just had a question on the motel on 724. Is there an update on that? And that's all I had.
But
Sorry, bad question.
I'd like to ask you a question then too. Do you guys want to respond to her?
Joe's gonna.
We'll just say that
Stop my foot.
there no developments publicly.
Okay.
There have been a couple of projects that have tried to come through, and unfortunately, there were just some things that they couldn't work out with the current owner of the property. So we're looking at a number of different options to try and improve the situation.
How much land is
Stay
there?
tuned.
Do you know?
How much land is there? It's not very big.
Two.
It's,
2 acres, maybe.
I believe it's a little
Okay.
under 2, but it's not, it's not a big spot.
Stay tuned, though. Yeah, stay tuned. That there's something.
So what I'd like to propose to you is, I know the library's done a lot of wonderful activities for the kids, and I've took my kids there for many years. They're all grown up now, but what I would like to say is give you an opportunity here is, I know a lot of people are coming out of a bad winter, cabin fever, all that. And what we might be able to do is maybe we could link, if you have all these activities for kids and stuff, maybe your website to ours, maybe we could collaborate here. Cause I know I hear from some of the residents, they're asking, for things to do. And I keep saying to them, go to the library. And I think maybe this could help. If you're
Yes.
open to that, we could collaborate
Absolutely.
together.
Yes. And the website for the library is ccls.org. And then you just select Spring City. And I noticed in looking at the website that I need to send you guys updated hours.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you so much.
I just get down to that end to get my hand over a mouth quick enough.
Thanks, Corey, for being our representative to the library.
Thank you very much.
And just to follow up on that. No, I want to really take the opportunity to commend the library. I mean, they really do a phenomenal job there. It is such an asset to the community, and just thank you for all you do. And the programs that you've been pulled out here and done have been fantastic. I mean, it is really a jewel of the community, and we appreciate all that they do. Thank you.
Agreed.
And I appreciate that, because this is a good segue, because we are going to be launching our new website sometime soon. That's going to be a perfect opportunity for us to link.
Great. Yes. Oh. Yeah, go ahead.
Larry Shank, Shady Lane. I promised myself I wasn't going to get up tonight, but when you started talking about putting in a roundabout at 724 and Bridge. So you're talking to a guy who grew up in Cherry Hill, and I had to deal with the racetrack circle, the Ellisburg circle, the Route 70, 73 circle. Sorry, it's a bad idea. New Jersey spent a lot of money taking out roundabouts, circles. It's just too busy of an intersection, my opinion. Where I do actually think a roundabout would be good is Bridge and the other one, Stony Run, because that's not as busy, but it would cause everybody to slow down both directions, right? So if you put a roundabout there, you can avoid the whole idea of the stop signs, because people are going to run stop signs. They're going to come up over that hill. They're going to blow through the stop sign. But if you hit a roundabout, you're going to have to slow down. Either that or you're going to be a YouTube video of somebody flying over the center part.
I think there are some of those out there.
Yeah, they're pretty funny.
Yeah.
And Bob, I will send you some videos or audios, whatever videos of the noise that we suspect is the power plant. I did take some. I was telling Kurt, I also one day drove down and went to Frick's Lock and sat in their parking lot with my truck off and everything and listened for a while. It really does seem like it's on our side of the cooling towers or the plant. But I still can't say, but that one day that I messaged you, I've never heard it that loud during the day.
Okay.
So just trying to help. I mean,
It's
not
great.
complaining,
Appreciate that.
just more of a
That's what we need.
help we
Perfect.
can figure it out. I think
Thank
that's
you.
all I had. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Larry.
Sandy.
Sandy Heidel, 5x6 Park Road. Since the librarian talked about using this room, we do want to use this room. I know Bob is a big advocate for that. And before you go for dessert for Pi Day, come on the 13th to hear about the Revolutionary War. We're doing a series of the 6th series for Ken Brown's Revolutionary War. We're going to show it on the screen, be able to see it. You can be with other friends. We can meet just as friends, not as a meeting kind of a thing. So, please come. It is a lunch and learn. Lunch will be provided and we'll view the movie together. But there are 6 different ones, 2 in March, 1 in April, 2 in May, and 1 in June. So please, see the website. It is on there. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you. Monica.
Historical Commission.
Mr. Chairman, while Monica's coming up,
Yes.
the police, and the great job that he does, reached out. He spoke with Pennhurst. They are doing a traffic study being conducted as part of their application. So that's what those boxes are for, is Pennhurst is doing the study.
But Bob, you say Pennhurst,
Pennhurst is doing that as part of their application that they will have in front of the board. You
the developer. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Hi,
Chief.
Monica Scriver, Valley Creek Lane. I wanted to, speaking of gratitude, I want to thank Haley, especially as I gave her a stack of books with a list for people to sign up for our book club. We did our EAC did their first ever book club last Thursday, and we had 8 participants. And the book was The Service Berry, and I don't know if you've ever heard of this. Braiding Wheatgrass is the author who wrote this, and it is a small book. It's about 100 pages, but it has so many intense, incredible concepts, and it's basically a gift economy. And so by the end of our meeting, everybody was saying, how do we make this happen? And I've heard the word collaborate, gratitude, and that's what this is all about. That's what she says the gift economy is all about. Being thankful, showing gratitude, and giving. Just like the little libraries where you can take a book out and bring a book in. And so we're going to be continuing this thread in our newsletters and probably revisit this book again. I would highly recommend you read it because it does promote community. So a very profound book. And since everybody else is plugging their programs, our next book is Nature's Best Hope by Doug Ptolemy. And Craig actually came, we did a presentation, I think in November.
Yes.
And it talked about Ptolemy's program called Homegrown National Park. And basically it's asking residents to take a little bit of property and plant natives and support the insects and the birds and everything that helps our ecosystem thrive. And if one neighbor does it and the other neighbor does it and does it, then we'll actually be creating these natural wildlife corridors that we have totally depleted because of development and basically destroying their habitats. And so this is going to be a beginning next month, but it won't be the end. We'll continue this for a couple of months, and this will support our native plants, or a message about planting native plants And I just wanted to let you guys know that. And thank you again for supporting us and helping us, Haley, and any staff that helped us make it happen. And if you have my library book, because I had to take them out because we had such a short turnaround, make sure you get it back March 10th. So that's my first point. I will reiterate, Buckwater is a mess. And I don't know if he's talking about the end where Stony Run is. I know I'm visualizing this as I'm driving, but there is an area that I think the township has patched it. But it's not being fixed. And it's an axle breaker. And on the other end, we have a culvert that is a sinkhole. And I just stop when people are coming the other way because I'm not crashing out my car. I literally have to stop in the road to be able to go around it. And that's just how I drive now. So 23 has bled into our road and it's a mess. So I just wanted to reiterate that and thank, I think it was Glenn that commented on that. I'm really excited about the 724 corridor study. And the last time Mike talked about it, he mentioned focus groups. Can somebody, I guess maybe nobody can talk about that right now. Like where are you in the process of talking about the 724 corridor study and what's happening?
I think it's getting close to Mike presenting to the board. I'll see if Mike can actually at the next meeting actually present kind of where we're at in that process.
Well, in addition to that, a task force is going to be formed. And Haley, have you sent out invitations yet to the various commissions?
No, we wanted to wait. My recommendation was, Mark, that we wait until we appointed the new committee members because they should be in the mix for potential nominations.
Right.
That held us up a little bit.
Okay.
So there's going to be a task force, and then how will residents have a say?
I think the task force is the first part of it, but then once that kind of hits past that initial meeting, then the public will be involved throughout the rest of the way to the finish. And
There'll be at least two town hall meetings for the public.
And they'll be here, Monica. They'll be held right here, and we'll put plenty of notice out in front of that.
And there'll be somebody to facilitate at these town hall meetings so they can capture, because the idea, we were fortunate enough, I don't know how many Novembers ago, to be part of Mark and Craig and Bob, you were there, talking about 724 and what we wanted to see commercially at Jones Motors. And I really valued that you were asking me for my input. And as I pointed out to the Planning Commission last month, you know, when you're dealing with what our township is dealing with right now, you begin to understand how important zoning and planning is, especially in reflecting the values of the township. And so I think this has brought a lot of residents to the township to contribute, which I think is really good. It's a good time to do it. I think you'd get a lot more feedback than you may otherwise. So the road program and PennDOT local road count, is that going to be part of this 724 corridor? Is that all going to be channeled into what you're doing there?
No.
Okay, so that's just a random.
That's correct.
Okay, and I never thought of this before. Where are the township's artifacts displayed? Because with the demolition of this building, there are going to be artifacts that are found. Where do they go?
Possibly
Artifacts,
right.
But I know there's some, where are they displayed in our township?
Does anyone from the historical commission want to?
Like tavern and cleaning them up. Some things are in our room and others are being stored in the maintenance building because we really don't have any place to display them until we get something done with the tavern, and then we're going to be putting whatever we have in for display for kids to come in, schools to come in, people to come in and go through.
That's great. And if we have any other artifacts, we have this big display case. I don't know what you guys planned month for month, but it might be something very educational for kids to come in and see some of our artifacts that have been found over the years. The noise, Mark, we have tried. We can stand outside our house and it sounds like a huge propeller fan. And my phone will not, I try to record it. I pick up dogs, traffic. I can't pick up that sound. And when in our upstairs, it's a vibration. So you can't, I guess we have to find something that picks up on low frequency, some kind of frequency or vibration for you to hear it. You hear it. I mean, it's your ears after a night of hearing it. Your ears feel like somebody who has taken cymbals and gone like this all night around your ears. That's what your ears feel like in the morning. So I'll do the best that I can to try and record it, but
Just a suggestion, there are some apps you can get for your phone that will measure the decibel level.
we'll check it out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Monica, just call 911. It's
Okay.
not a problem and police will respond out.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Bob, with the 724 corridor study, could Mike give some, or I know one of the Pannoni planners, I guess, is really running this, not Mike.
Correct.
So could they come and give an overview of, I know there's a process through the grant, the VPP grant that we have to follow as far as the number of meetings with the public, who, the setup of the composition of the task force and the process. So maybe that would be, something they could present to give background and then, some tentative timelines around when the public can expect to be, brought in for meetings and that sort of thing. I know we briefly touched on it, so I don't have the details yet, but.
No, that's a good idea. And what I'll do is we'll have the Pannoni show next board meeting. They've got a number of items, so we're just going to add this
That would
on
be
while they're presenting to bring their team and touch on a lot of these topics that I know the public's looking at.
That would be
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
Sure.
thank you.
Thank you.
That would be Mr. Wanamaker, who is their planner.
Mhm.
We would want him
Correct.
here. Mr. Kissinger, of course, is the civil, and then Mr. Schneider, who is the traffic.
Traffic.
Mr. Chairman, there's
Yes.
2 hands online.
Okay.
Hi, Joanna Tenney, New Street, Spring City. I also wanted to comment about the noise. I know I sent a video to Bob, and it was awful that day. It was all day, and then it stopped for like 3 days, and then it came back again, but it wasn't as loud, but the vibration was more, if that makes sense. Like, I have more videos I can send over of what that's like, but Monica's spot on. Like, when you hear that for hours, it's like ringing in your ears for hours after that. Even when you try to go to sleep, you're constantly hearing the ringing in your ears. And you wake up with vertigo sometimes or headaches, and I can pick it up on my phone, and it's very unpleasant. And I'm 3.7 miles away from the power plant. So I just kind of want to make the comment of, when you're going through the applications for the conditional use process for the data center, keep in mind that noise travels so much further than what we actually think. So would it be helpful if I continue to send videos, or sorry, I missed the beginning of the meeting. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Keep doing that. I know it's frustrating for us because when we talked to Limerick Township and the manager and trying to get information, and they have no complaints from their residents and they can't pick anything up, which is something doesn't line up with it. So that's where it's kind of like we're trying to put a puzzle together on this of where it could be coming from. So keep sending the stuff. Please do.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send you the other video that I have, because that day when it was really, really bad, I went to the power plant and followed the noise, and it's the same video, different pitch a little bit, but it's the same sound.
No, that would be great.
Yeah, and I was actually just at Limerick's meeting because I kept waking up the last couple of nights in the middle of the night with just the ringing in my ears, couldn't get it to stop. So I went over there to explain, like, hey, like, this is coming from the power plant, and I live pretty further than, a mile or whatever away. So, okay, I can do that then. All right.
Yeah, the night I was out there was more noise coming from Costco out there, which I know it's and that's funny, but there was more noise coming from
Wow.
Costco. So
Did you take the back road?
I did.
Okay.
That way, and then kind of just looped around there.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and I'm not picking on anything. There was an opportunity when I was out behind the Veterans Center. There is an external unit there, and I think they're doing some improvements to their systems there. The day I was there, it was a loud noise, and because of where it was sitting behind the buildings, there was an echo that was going around it.
Mm.
I thought that could be the noise. It was just odd because it was coming off of the buildings, really generating a noise that would be similar to this. But at the times, I know that you and Monica, have let me know about this. It's quiet there, so that's why again, it's like bizarre. You're hearing the noise as we go there. There's nothing happening. So
Right. Okay. Well, I'll send you those videos over and I'll record it anytime that I hear it, which is pretty frequently it seems now.
please do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, the first it to be chicken fryer.
Okay, there's another one. Yep.
Hi, it's Chris McNeil. I just wanted to ask you if you knew what happened at the Nottingham Duck Pond around midnight on Friday. There was a whole load of trucks that were converging on the site. Did incident happen at the duck pond?
Not that we're aware of. I know that they were pumping there. So there was nothing unusual. We'll find out.
Yeah, it was
there was an
loud
issue
with the
a few weeks
pumping.
ago at Duck Pond. I
Bill,
can't recall what the issue was, but it was whatever it was taken care of. And the current operators are have been told that we got to find a way to keep that going until we can get the funding for the to overhaul the pumping station.
Bill,
Yeah, this was Friday night.
Chris, Bill just mentioned to us that there was a lot of snow melt. So that's what created some additional flow there. We'll track it down and see what it is, but I know there has been quite a bit of pumping taking place there.
Yeah.
We'll track it down for you.
Okay, and just finally, Monica talked about it, but I was just going to congratulate the EAC for their first book club meeting. And it was well done. I guess I got cut off. Am I there?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I want to particularly commend Monica, who facilitated the meeting. She did a great job with her slideshow and being able to put people at ease. And we really had a good, spontaneous and deep discussion. And it was very well received, I think, by everybody who attended. So I hope more people come. I just wanted to give thanks to the EAC for putting that forward.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Great.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? I see a lot of people are signing off online.
I just wanted, can I say?
Yeah.
I just wanted to commend the staff and the boards and commissions for the newsletter. I thought it was really well done. It looked fantastic too. I think Jordan did some of the setup, but it was really informative, and all of the updates from the chairs of all the committees, I thought it was very informative as to what they're working on and what they've accomplished. I thought that was great. And then I wanted to let everyone know, I don't know that we put this on the website, but we did follow up. The last meeting, we talked about sending a letter to oppose House Bill 2151. The township did send that letter. Unfortunately, if you've been keeping track, both 2150 and 2151 did make it out of committee. But we did put in our letter opposing both at 2151 at least. So wanted to give that update.
Thank you. I don't see anyone else with their hand raised online. Is there any other further public comment from those who are in attendance? No. Okay.
Move to adjourn.
Yep. I move forward. Adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.